I'm Boomer Esiason for SI.com, and in honor of President's Day and Mount Rushmore, since it seems to be the hot topic of the sports world this day, I'm going to give you the Mount Rushmore of my quarterbacks of all time. Now, I have to pick one older quarterback, and that guy has to be Johnny Unitas, a five-time All-Pro. He owned the 1960s and actually one season threw 32 touchdown passes, which is pretty impressive. Number 4 on my list is Peyton Manning. Now, I know Peyton Manning will go down maybe as the one quarterback who holds all the regular season records, and I have more respect for him than I probably have of most, simply because of what he does at the line of scrimmage and also the amount of impact that he has had both in Indianapolis and Denver. He's a great quarterback, and being on Mount Rushmore means you're kind of equal with everybody else. At number 3, it's going to be John Elway, a contemporary of mine and a guy who actually seemed like he was bored for most of the time until you got into the fourth quarter and his team needed him to do something in order for him to win. And he seemed to do that time and again. And when he won his final 2 Super Bowls in his last 2 years with Terrell Davis, nothing was more sweeter than watching him win those games and certainly finally fulfilling his destiny as one of the great quarterbacks of all time. Number 2 has to be Joe Montana. Nobody broke my heart more than Joe Montana did. And with 4 Super Bowls and the MVPs and everything else, there's no questioning that Joe Montana is one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. And also remember, he played on some of the greatest teams of all time. And that brings me to my number 1 quarterback. Yeah, I know I have 5 heads on my Mount Rushmore. I can't just go with 4. I have to go with 5. And I said this guy last year was the best ever. And I still honestly believe it in my heart that he is, especially after the season he just put together with a very average offense around him. And that would be Tom Brady of the New England Patriots. Just look at the amount of success, the amount of playoff games, the amount of wins, the Super Bowl MVPs, the season MVPs. You name it, Tom Brady has been there, and he's done it with some very questionable teams. Now, I know he is one of the greatest coaches of all time, but in my estimation, Tom Brady will go down as the greatest quarterback of all time. Have at it. I'm Boomer Esiason.